Karnataka Assembly election is expected to give a majority to the Congress according to two pre-poll surveys. The ABP C voter opinion poll sees BJP winning just 74 to 86 seats, down from 116 that it had in the outgoing assembly, while the Congress is seen winning 107 to 119 seats, up from 69 in the outgoing assembly. The E-Dina poll shows similar numbers, Congress increasing its tally well above the 50% mark of 112 seats, and BJP getting about half of what they did in the outgoing assembly, half of the 116 that they did. So today I have with me four experts to explain what's happening on ground zero. I have with me CNN-IBN's consulting editor DP Satish and Professor A. Narayana, Professor of Political Science at the Azim Premji Institute, by far the two best observers of Karnataka politics. We also have with us D.K. Singh, the political editor at The Print, and A.K. Bhattacharya, editor at Business Standard, to explain how Karnataka's results may influence national politics and policies. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me. I must add that in the last 2-3 hours, two more polls have come in, one from Z Matriz and another one from Suvarna Jan Ki Baat, who are giving a slight edge to the BJP. So it looks like even Steven. But Satish, let me start with you. Are the C voter polls getting it right, or has the Prime Minister's whirlwind tour made a difference?
Lata, this is the most important election for the Congress party because its very existence in Karnataka survival depends on the outcome of this election. Congress has invested everything in this election. Money, power, also its organizational skills, strategy, goodwill, everything. If Congress loses this election, it will be very, very difficult for the Congress to come back and for the leaders to revive the party. I am sure Congress is working very hard to win this election, and they will have to win this election. Okay. At the same time, BJP is a ruling party and Karnataka is the only state in the south, as you know, where they are in power. And ahead of Lok Sabha election, they don't want to lose Karnataka at any cost. And it is a fact that there is a BJP government in Karnataka is facing anti-incumbency and people are not happy with it. That's why Prime Minister Narendra Modi is campaigning in Karnataka every day. And he has been campaigning in Karnataka for the past 1 week. And I am sure BJP workers have come out only because Modi is campaigning aggressively across the Karnataka, because Modi's popularity is still intact in the state and Modi is the one who can draw a huge crowd. At the same time, Congress has several leaders, but Siddaramaiah is the most popular among all. And Siddaramaiah is from the southernmost district of Mysore, but he is equally popular in the northernmost district of Bidar. There have been many pre-poll surveys. Some pre-poll surveys claim that Congress is leading. Some pre-poll surveys claim BJP is leading. Some pre-poll surveys claim it is going to be a very tight fight and there can even be a hung assembly. Yeah. But if you look at the response, or when you go around the state and meet people or talk to them, I think they will vote for a single party government this time, because Karnataka has a history of not repeating a hung assembly one more time. Technically in 2008 it was hung, but Yediyurappa managed to win 110 seats, because Karnataka also has a history of not repeating the incumbent government since 1989. Yes. That's why its election is going to be very, very interesting.
Okay. Yes, anti-incumbency is a hallmark of Karnataka polls for the last 30-35 years. Professor Narayana, what have been your observations? Will it be just plain anti-incumbency? Is corruption a very big factor? There is a lot of talk about this 40% Sarkara, quip. Or will it once again go back to caste? Will it just be the Lingayats calling the shots? How are you perceiving the trends in this election?
So let me put it like this. Now, irrespective of what the surveys say, all that I can say is that this time, the kind of anti-incumbency that is visible on the ground is something which has never been seen, let us say, after 1989. Okay. So, any government facing this kind of anti-incumbency is very unlikely to come back to power in Karnataka unless something drastically changes this time. And I don't think anything drastically changing in favor of the BJP. Therefore, I would say that surveys which have given slightly higher number to the Congress may be considered as more reliable at this point in time.
So, but Professor, what is the reason for the anti-incumbency? Is it that the free rice has been reduced from 10 to 5? Is it petrol prices? Or is it this, what I was saying, corruption, perceived corruption of the Bombay government?
Okay, I would say it is a combination of all the factors that you have mentioned. And one survey has shown that it is corruption, and other surveys have shown that it is the price rise. But it's true that corruption of late doesn't figure so prominently in the minds of the voters, because the standard response would be that, well, all parties are corrupt. However, corruption would always be there in the background for the government, for the people to judge the government. Now, corruption combined with price rise, which affects their daily lives, which makes their daily life sort of difficult. The combined effect of these two factors, I would say, is the main factor behind anti-incumbency, or the kind of anti-incumbency that we have seen. And in addition to that, I think the signal that is going to the voters is that all is not too well in the ruling party. For the last few months, the kind of developments that the BJP has seen in Karnataka does not give a sense of a cohesive party unit at the state level, right? So in the past, whenever Karnataka faced elections, the ruling party burdened with the anti-incumbency and also instability within its organization, the results always went against the
ruling party. Okay, there are two more factors I want you and Satish to speak about, and then I want to look at the national implication as well. Satish, how important is the hijab kind of issues? Is it that won't make a difference because the Muslim vote is anyway consolidated with Congress, or will it make a difference this time? And secondly, rebel politicians. I mean, Shettar is, of course, a very big person, but there are other rebel candidates. So both these issues, do you think? Yeah, go ahead.
Now, surprisingly, BJP is not even mentioning halal, hijab, mosque, all these things in this election, because these things were very big issues maybe 6 months ago. BJP is not even mentioning these issues. And BJP insiders feel that these issues will have no impact on the election. Even in Dakshina Kannada and Udupi districts, where this issue was very big and where they actually followed the so-called Gujarat model, even there they are not mentioning these issues, because BJP is also fighting this issue on development plan and Prime Minister Modi's popularity. And BJP is not mentioning it, and Congress is also not talking about it, because Congress feels that anyway at least 80 to 90% of the Muslims vote for the Congress. And Congress is trying to prevent some Muslim votes from going from Congress to JDS, because JDS claims that it's also a secular party. And the second issue you are talking about is Jagdish Shettar, because Jagdish Shettar may or may not win from Hubli Dharwad Central Assembly seat, which he has won 6 times in the past. But Jagdish Shettar is an important Lingayat leader, may not be as popular as Yadurappa or anyone else. But it has changed the perception among the Lingayats that there is something wrong with the BJP. And that might influence the voting pattern in the rest of Karnataka.
DK, I want your view on, what are your people with feet on the ground telling you? Are you getting a sense that there is a bit of disarray? And more importantly, what is the takeaway for national politics, DK? If
nationally, this Karnataka election result will actually tell us how prepared the Congress is as a political party to take on the BJP. Because in Karnataka, it has everything going right for it. Say, historically, the last time you had some Karnataka chief minister who completed uninterrupted 5 years in office, that was Devraj 50 years back.
Yes.
They did that, but that was in two terms. So you have the history with you. Then if you look at it now, what's happening in Karnataka, you have a great organizer in DK Shivkumar. You have a popular face in Siddaramaiah. You have the BJP, which has messed up its entire poll strategy like never before and nowhere else. Despite that, if you're not able to win and, fall at the finishing line, that tells you a lot about the Congress party's ability to fight the BJP, even with all these disadvantages.
Fair enough. I mean, I take your point that all the experts are pointing out to the several tailwinds that the Congress has and headwinds that the BJP has. But the BJP has one big tailwind in the personality of the Prime Minister. So that final question before we take a break, Professor Narayana, do you think that it's an overwhelming personality? You think that can still swing the scales, or do state politics, state elections center around local issues?
Yeah, I would say two things here. One, Karnataka electorate has always, decided differently in Lok Sabha elections and assembly elections. The other way of putting it is somewhat like this. The Karnataka voter has never been swayed by the kind of leadership or the kind of power a political party held at the national level while deciding whom to select at the state level. That's point number one. Point number two is this. Even if you accept that the personality of Prime Minister Modi is overwhelming, what is that he is telling the people? Right? And there's not been any consistency in the kind of narrative that he has been putting out before the people.
Okay.
In the beginning, it used to be corruption. But then one of the ruling party MLA was caught red-handed, and after that narrative stopped. And then he started saying that Congress is a parivar party or it's a dynastic party. But after the BJP announced it's a list of candidates, people started pointing out that the list is full of people who have some kind of family ties with the established leaders of the BJP. So after that, even that has taken a back seat. Now, of course, they have been saying, including the Prime Minister, this idea of double-engine government. But this double-engine government has not delivered in Karnataka. If the double-engine government has delivered, then we would not be seeing the kind of anti-incumbents that we are seeing on the ground. So therefore, just because the Prime Minister is coming here and holding roadshows might not change the reality, ground reality much. This is my understanding.
DP, very quickly, Satish, if you can just enlighten me on how effective is the Prime Minister? Is Hindi widely understood in Karnataka?
Because BJP has no local leadership, because Yadurappa is no longer going to be, Yadurappa is not going to be the chief military again. Because Yadurappa is a caste leader, he would have got a lot of votes. But this time he is leading the party, but he's not going to be the chief
Hindi
minister.
Understood? Can the PM make an impact? Because that seems to be the handicap in the southern states.
No, in some districts, wherever PM goes, he will have a translator or interpreter. But he can't be so effective because he needs an interpreter or translator, particularly in the Old Mysore region, the southern part of the state.
Fair point. That could be a bit of a handicap. And for the BJP, of course, that could be the big reason why in the southern states also they aren't making much of headway. We have to take a quick break, but I have lots more questions on what may be the impact of either a BJP or a Congress victory on national politics. Those questions after the break.